All right, we're about to dive into an idea that is so simple, but at the same time, so incredibly powerful, it could honestly change how you see, well, everything. It really all boils down to two little words. You mean it. This is all based on a talk by Loon, and it completely reframes how cause and effect actually work in our lives.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. That moment when life just feels like it's happening to you, when you feel totally like a victim of circumstance and you're just looking around for some reason, any reason, for why you're suffering. It's a classic human thing to do. But what if the answer isn't out there at all?
Now, I know that might sound a little shocking, maybe even unfair, but stick with me. The core idea here is that our experience is a direct one-to-one result of what we truly, deeply mean. So by asking why me, the underlying intention, what you really mean in that moment is, I am the one who suffers. You're basically meaning, I am a victim. And your reality, it just reflects that right back at you.
So to really unpack this, let's take a look at an old concept, but in a totally new light, karma. And I want you to forget everything you think you know about some kind of cosmic scoreboard or ledger. We're going to simplify it way down to its true essence.
That's it, seriously. Karma isn't some punishment or reward from an outside force. It is the direct, tangible, physical result of your own deep-seated intention. Think of it this way. If your intention is the seed you plant, karma is simply the fruit you get. It's nothing more than a perfect reflection of what you are putting out. Okay, so this slide just lays it out perfectly. Look at this cycle. It kicks off when you ask, why me? But the intention you're actually generating underneath that question is, I am a victim. And so what's the result? Well, you experience the feeling of being a victim. You literally create the very reality you're questioning, all because on some level you meant for it to happen.
Okay, so if this principle really holds up, it has to apply to more than just feeling like a victim, right? It has to apply to everything. So let's explore a couple more really powerful examples of how our inner meaning just completely shapes our outer world. Just look at how this plays out with forgiveness. It's such a perfect example. On the left, when you really truly mean, I will not forgive you, who's the one actually suffering? It's you, right? You're the one experiencing the pain of holding on to all that resentment. But the second you shift your intention, the moment you can genuinely mean, I relinquish this, I let this go, boom, you experience the freedom you see on the right. It's instant. So the crucial point here is that this works for everything. Positive or negative, it doesn't care. As Loon puts it, when you make a curse, that energy comes right back to you. Why? Because any intention you generate is ultimately an experience you are creating for yourself. It's like a boomerang. What you throw out is what comes back, always. And this principle isn't just for those big, dramatic life or death moments, not at all. It governs the whole shebang, from the tiny little choices you make to the huge, life-altering commitments. Let's see how just a single, clear moment of intention can actually build and shape your life over a long, long time.
You know, Loon shares his own story about this. At one point in his life, he had this single, really powerful intention. I want the truth and nothing but the truth. And because he just so sincerely meant it, his whole life started to pivot and align with that intention. It guided him away from paths that weren't true and toward real understanding, even years and years later. One sincere moment of meaning can literally set the course for a lifetime. Now, here's a thought that might just stop you in your tracks. If you live for another 30 years and you sleep a pretty standard 8 hours a night, you'll spend 10 of those years completely unconscious. 10 years. It's a really powerful way to think about how we can mean to just drift, to be unaware. We choose it moment by moment, and a massive chunk of our life can just be spent on autopilot as a result.
So this brings up a really important question, one you might be asking right now. What happens when we're just stuck? When we kind of mean to be in our suffering, even if we consciously say we don't want it? How in the world do you ask for help when your own intention is the very thing that's trapping you?
And here's the paradox. It's a big one. According to this teaching, even enlightened beings, bodhisattvas, you name it, they cannot help you if your deepest intention is to stay right where you are. Your free will, what you truly mean, is totally sovereign. It's respected above all else. So if you mean to hold on to your pain with a death grip, no one can pry it from your hands.
So the only way out is to change what you mean. And this starts with some pretty radical honesty. First, you have to admit it. I truly don't know the way out of this. Second, you make a sincere, heartfelt request. Show me the truth. Help me resolve this. And third, and this is the hard part, you have to trust.
You have to allow the guidance to come, even if it's painful, kind of like pulling a bad tooth. It hurts in the moment, but it ultimately leads to freedom.
Okay, this all leads us to the most practical, the most transformative application of this entire idea. It involves shifting the fundamental goal of our inner life away from what pretty much all of us are chasing every single day.
Look at these two paths. Let's be honest, most of us are on that first one. We spend our lives chasing good feelings and running away from bad feelings. But that path, it's a dead end. It always leads to more craving and darkness, because feelings, by their very nature, just don't last. The alternative is to shift your entire goal to the pursuit of understanding. And that path, well, that one leads to real freedom and light.
So here it is. Here's the tool. In any situation, especially a difficult one, instead of getting lost in how it feels, ask yourself this one simple question. What can I understand from this? Just asking that question instantly changes your intention. It shifts you from being a reactor to being a learner. It moves you from being trapped by a feeling to being liberated by understanding.
So, let's bring it all home. Your reality is not random. It's a direct creation of your intention. What you really mean is the cause. Your life experience is the effect. Simple as that. But the best news is, you can change your reality in any given moment, just by changing what you mean. And the most powerful shift of all is to stop chasing feelings and start pursuing understanding.
And that leaves us with just one final question for you to take with you. Forget about yesterday. Forget about tomorrow. Right here, right now, in this very moment. What is it that you really mean? Because whatever that is, that's the world you're creating for yourself.